So I put out a call to action recently to the mid-level physical media community. What is your most wanted movie that you want a 4K upgrade for if you could only have one? Over 600 of you replied what movies you want to see upgraded to 4K more than any other. So I decided to break down all that data and put it in a list to reveal to you here today. So here it is, the top most wanted 4Ks as voted on by the community. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. And you know what, guys? I get on here all the time and I'm talking about what I want to come to 4K. What do I think should come to 4K? What should get this release from this company and all that stuff. I do a lot of that kind of speculation on this channel, but I thought to myself, you know what? I want to get the input from the community. What do you guys want to come to 4K? Because sometimes we're not on complete alignment for the movies that we want to prioritize to come to 4K. Now, judging by, some of the titles we're going to talk about here today, I think we are in unison on some movies. I think are pretty universal. Everybody kind of wants those to get 4K upgrades, and we'll definitely be talking about some of those here today. But I put out a call to action a couple of days ago, and I got almost 600 responses. I didn't think anybody was paying attention to my community tab on YouTube, but apparently there are people. And all I asked was, what's your most wanted 4K? What's the movie that you want to come to 4K the most? And I just wanted one movie per person per comment, but I did get people that commented like several movies in one answer. And what I did there was I just took your first movie, the first movie that you typed. That's the one I took to compile my data. And I basically just made a list of movies. Like some movies got, 5 votes and 6 votes. And I just wanted to kind of work my way up to the movie that got the most votes. And that would basically determine like what's the most wanted movie in this community on this channel that people want to see come to 4K. And I think that the movie that got the most votes, I'm not going to reveal the movie, but the one that got the most votes got 9 votes. So it wasn't like a large amount of votes that the top movie got, because there were look, it's a very broad, it's a very broad question that could, that could have many different answers. You're basically asking like, of all the movies, and there's a lot of movies, guys, what do you want to see come to 4K? And there was just a lot of responses. And it just kind of highlighted to me that there's still so much out there that needs to be upgraded to 4K. Now, you could argue all day, like, what needs to be upgraded, what doesn't, what we should prioritize versus this. But this is a list that people like, even the ones that got 1 vote, like somebody out there wants this particular movie more than anything else. So you have to keep that in mind. It's always subjective when it comes to the movie that you think should be upgraded to 4K versus the movie that somebody else thinks should be upgraded to 4K. It's all in what you value and what you prioritize and stuff like that. So it is very important to, I guess, understand like the different perspectives out there. But yeah, I got all this data, and I did this in about 2 hours. I went through about 600 comments. It's very possible I missed a few here and there. I think a lot of the singles I kind of left out, but I did get some singles that we're going to get into as well. I pretty much just compiled the list from 3 votes on. So if the movie got 3 votes, then it made it on my list, but I'll call out some of the doubles and stuff like that. I can do that real quick before we get into it. But before we get into it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below, guys. Maybe you didn't get to answer what you want to come to 4K the most in that post. Maybe you didn't see it. What 4K do you want? What movie do you want to see come to 4K the most? Let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, I just thought that like maybe 40 to 50 people were going to comment. Like I knew it would get some engagement. It's a pretty broad question. It's pretty easy to answer. So I knew somebody would. I knew there would be, a certain amount of people that would comment. I didn't think there would be 600 people that would comment, because initially what I was going to do is I was just going to get on here and read the comments like off the post, just an easy video. I'm just going to read, again, get the perspective of you guys in the community. Like, what do you want to see come to 4K? And I was just going to have fun kind of doing that and reading the comments. I couldn't do that. Like once I got 500 to 600 comments, or I think it's close to 600 now, but I had to cut it off somewhere. But it's like, it might be over 600 now. But once I saw it was that many, I was like, there's no way I can get on here and read 600 comments. That would be a live stream, is what that would be. So what I did was I compiled all the data of the first movie that you called out in your comment, and that's the one that got the vote. Let me just call out some movies that, yeah, honestly, like some of these movies, I was surprised did not get over 2 votes. Like Minority Report only got 2 votes. Like I would have thought that would have got more votes. The French Connection only got 1 vote. From Dusk Till Dawn. No, actually, I think that one did make it. Hold on, I didn't take some of these off the list like I was supposed to. Insomnia got 2 votes. Good Will Hunting only got 1 vote. I've been calling for that one to come to 4K. Wild at Heart got 2 votes. Apocalypto got 2 votes. Gangs of New York got 2 votes. The Perfect Storm only got 1 vote. And again, it's possible I missed some of these, some of the ones that came in a little bit later because I compiled all this data about 12 hours ago now. But we got The Hateful Eight, got 2 votes. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest only got 1 vote. Sin City only got 2 votes. Gravity got 1 vote. Young Guns 2 got 2 votes. Prisoners got 1 vote. The Rock got 1 vote. Now, to be fair, a lot of people called out Armageddon and The Rock in the same like post, but I had to count Armageddon because The Rock was usually the second one that they called out. So to be fair, they probably wanted those both equally. So maybe The Rock should have been a little bit higher because again, they're both directed by Michael Bay and both are very highly requested 4K titles. Interview with the Vampire got 2 votes. Crimson Tide got 2 votes. Talented Mr. Ripley got 1 vote. Edward Scissorhands only got 1 vote. Blood In, Blood Out got 2 votes. Blood In, Blood Out got 2 votes. Night of the Living Dead 1990 got 1 vote. Tales from the Hood got 1 vote. What About Bob got 2 votes. Like we just need a Blu-ray of that. Like we don't even have that of What About Bob. But somebody wants to go, 2 people want to go straight to 4K with What About Bob. Catch Me If You Can, 1 vote. Romancing the Stone, 2 votes. Hills Have Eyes remake, 2 votes. I would love an Arrow box set of that. Tron Legacy, 2 votes. The Iron Giant got 1 vote. Wolf Creek got 1 vote. Kroll got 2 votes. AI got 2 votes. Best of the Best. I don't even know that movie off the top of my head. That got 1 vote. Con Air only got 2 votes. Come on, guys. Come on. Witches from 1990 got 1 vote. Big got 1 vote. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids got 1 vote. Memento got 2 votes. Road to Perdition got 1 vote. Gone with the Wind got 2 votes. I would have expected that one to get a little bit more. Patton got 2 votes. Strange Days got 2 votes. Return of the Living Dead 2 got 1 vote. I would anticipate that one will come out at some point from Scream Factory if they still have the rights. Demon Knight got 1 vote. Devil's Advocate got 1 vote. Gone in 60 Seconds, only 2 votes for that one. Das Boot, Blue Thunder, Empire of the Sun, Judge Dredd, all got 1 vote. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Ed Wood, Gremlins 2, all got 1 vote. Boogie Nights got 2 votes. The Ninth Gate got 2 votes. Pleasantville, Masters of the Universe, The Omen, LA Confidential, New Jack City, The Book of Eli, The Village, Freddy vs. Jason, The Dirty Dozen, Adventures of Robin Hood, the Errol Flynn version, Logan's Run, Song of the South, Phantom of the Paradise, Kung Fu Hustle, Dead Snow, High Spirits, House Party, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Astro Boy, License to Drive, South Central, American Beauty, The Breakfast Club, and Fried Green Tomatoes all got 1 vote. All of those got 1 vote. And then Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal got 2 votes. So yeah, I went into as many of those. Jason Lives, Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives got 2 votes to come to 4K. It was the only Friday the 13th film of the original 8 that even got votes. I think maybe the final chapter was in there somewhere, but like I said, at some point I had to leave out some of the singles. Now let's go ahead and get into the 3 and up votes, and things start to get pretty interesting the further up we go. Like there were some movies that I was like, I'm really surprised this got 6 votes, 7 votes, 8 votes out of all the comments and the people. Like this is the movie that people just kept repeating over and over again. But with 3 votes, guys, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I've got 14 movies to call out here. They got 3 votes, starting with Near Dark, got 3 votes. Ben-Hur got 3 votes. Pink Floyd's The Wall got 3 votes, which I think is some kind of a concert movie, correct? So that was kind of surprising. That got more than Con Air? Jeez. Speed Racer got 3 votes. Moulin Rouge. I was actually kind of surprised to see Moulin Rouge make it. That got 3 votes. Mortal Kombat got 3 votes from 1995, I'm assuming. The Mask got 3 votes. Happy to see The Mask get 3 votes. Star Wars: The Unaltered Trilogy, and some people did call out some titles like Terminator 2, somebody did, and I left that off because, again, it already has a 4K. Yes, I know it's a 4K you don't like, but there was somebody else that commented something that already had a 4K as well. I think that was just a mistake, though, but Star Wars: The Unaltered Trilogy, like, there's a point to be made there. We got the special editions on 4K. I know some people want to go back and just kind of get the originals again, and George Lucas doesn't want to let those out there. So you might have to wait until, not, I don't wish death upon anybody. When George Lucas passes away, that'll be very sad. But we'll have to wait till he passes away, and then maybe we'll get the Unaltered Trilogy on 4K. I think you can buy bootleg versions of those, if I'm not mistaken, though. Legend got 3 votes. Now, Legend is a 1985 movie directed by Ridley Scott that has an Arrow video release. And they put that out, I think, theatrical cut and the uncut version as well. And I think the theatrical cut was a 4K scan, if I'm not mistaken. But for some reason, and this went back to like the original source materials, there was a reason that they could not do the full 4K restoration. And I cannot remember why, but there was a reason, because they put out Legend when they were doing all kinds of 4K releases. Arrow Video was just getting into 4K, but there was a reason they did not do a 4K for Legend. So maybe somebody can let me know in the comment section below, but 3 people voted for Legend by director Ridley Scott. Manhunter got 3 votes. Django Unchained got 3 votes. From Dusk Till Dawn got 3 votes. Really? Only 3 votes from Dusk Till Dawn. Now, Django got 3 votes. That's supposed to be coming to 4K this year. Lionsgate should be putting that out. That should be on the slate to come out, probably from Lionsgate Limited. I would say sometime in the fall. Then we got Open Range. 3 votes for Open Range, which with Kevin Costner and Robert Duvall. That does not have a Blu-ray. That is still on DVD. So not only do we need a 4K of that, we also need a Blu-ray. The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise got 3 votes. So those are all the 3 vote ones. And I would have assumed, honestly, that The Last Samurai would have got a little bit more than 3 votes, if I'm being honest. So those are the 3 votes. Let's move on to the 4 voters. So there are only 4 picks in here with 4 votes. We have Day of the Dead from George A. Romero, that has a Screen Factory Blu-ray that apparently, allegedly, they cannot find the original camera negative for that one to do the 4K restoration. It was lost. So if they do a 4K of that and they can't find the original camera negative, they're going to have to do an interpositive, and people usually poo-poo all over that. So that's why Screen Factory is not doing the 4K as of right now, because they're still looking for that original camera negative. So yeah, Day of the Dead, I imagine when they find it, if they find it, there will be a 4K of that at some point. Once Upon a Time in America, that is also one. Well, no, that has a Blu-ray, but I think the Blu-ray is pretty out of print, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Once Upon a Time in America does have a Blu-ray, but I think it's out of print. And I think Paramount has that as well. Maybe it's Disney, though. Maybe it's possible that it's Disney. But yeah, Once Upon a Time in America, it is... Well, no, it's not the last Sergio Leone movie that doesn't have a 4K, because Duck You Sucker does not have a 4K, but it is a big one. It is his last like big film, epic film that doesn't have a 4K. So I would think that we would get that probably at some point. There Will Be Blood. We've been talking about that for years. I think that the initial rumors for that came out back in like 2022 for There Will Be Blood. So hopefully, whether it's Paramount or they give it to the Criterion Collection, which I think that Criterion would be a perfect fit for There Will Be Blood. Yeah, hopefully we get that at some point. But that got 4 votes. And Pee-wee's Big Adventure got 4 votes, guys. So there you go. 4 votes for Pee-wee. Honestly, like, I'm surprised Pee-wee didn't get a little bit more. I would have thought that Pee-wee... But again, this is tough. Like, this is deciding, like, of all the movies, what's the movie you want to come to 4K the most. Now let's get into the 5 voters. We've got quite a few 5 voters. We've got 7 movies that 5 people voted on. Eyes Wide Shut is one of them. Master and Commander, which I have it on good authority that that one is coming to 4K at some point. And by the time this video comes out, I will have maybe already announced that rumor on the physical media report. But yeah, Master and Commander should be coming to 4K at some point. I think that's a Disney title. Then we've got The Fly coming that people voted for. And honestly, like The Fly, I'm surprised that one didn't get a little bit more as well. Because that is like of all the like the big horror titles, it's like The Fly and The Omen, which The Omen I think got like 1 vote or something like that. But The Fly and The Omen and maybe a handful of other ones, like there's not a lot of huge horror titles left that need that 4K treatment, but The Fly is one of them. So yeah, that one got 5 votes. Then Children of Men got 5 votes. I was surprised that Children of Men actually got 5 votes. I was. Then Dead Alive, which is a Peter Jackson horror film that people have been asking for quite some time. And I think that one has a DVD and a Blu-ray, and both of them are like way out of print. So I think that people just want that to come back in stock so they can own it if they didn't get a chance to get those releases back in the day. But yeah, Dead Alive I haven't seen. I would be down for getting that one in 4K at some point. I've heard great things about it. Then Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger, guys. Commando, which I watched Commando recently for the first time. It was a big Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that I'd never seen, and I loved it. And I do think it would look so freaking good in 4K. So I'm all for Commando coming to 4K. But I was kind of surprised that Commando got that many votes, honestly. And then Planet of the Apes got 5 votes as well. So Planet of the Apes like came in way later. I remember when I was compiling the list, I was like, damn, nobody called out Planet of the Apes. And all of a sudden I started to get all the Planet of the Apes comments. So yeah, that's a big one that I think we will get from Disney at some point because Disney has that now through Fox. But yeah, that's all the 5 voters. Let's get into the 6 voters, and we have 5 movies that got 6 votes a piece, starting with Troy got 6 votes. So I was surprised that this one got that many. I've been talking about Troy one, that one to come to 4K for quite some time. I love that movie. I saw it in the theaters. I bought it on DVD, watched it multiple times. I would love to see Troy in 4K. I think that movie would look great. And for whatever reason, that movie, like I've just always remembered loving it, but apparently like that movie wasn't very well received critically. So I don't know what it is about Troy that people don't like. But that just goes to show you can't trust the critics. But yeah, Troy got 6 votes. Then we got Last of the Mohicans with 6 votes, which I think there was some kind of interview with Michael Mann recently where he talked about Last of the Mohicans potentially coming to 4K soon. And that would be a Disney title as well, I believe, because I just bought the Blu-ray of that one. But yeah, that one should be coming to 4K, I would assume sooner rather than later. Then we had Stargate with 6 votes, a movie with Kurt Russell in it. And you're going to see another Kurt Russell film placed pretty prominently on this list, guys, here in a second. But yeah, Stargate got 6 votes. I was pretty surprised to see Stargate get that many. Then we got The Wild Bunch that got 6 votes as well. So The Wild Bunch is a Western. I feel like that's like the last, kind of like The Fly is one of the last big like horror holdouts for 4K. The Wild Bunch is like one of the last big 4K holdouts for the Western genre. I feel like that one people have been calling and wanting to come to 4K for like the longest time, pretty much ever since I watched it for the first time at the beginning of 2022. People have been talking about The Wild Bunch on 4K. And I second, third, and fourth that. I think The Wild Bunch would be phenomenal on 4K. But that's the 6 voters. Let's move into the 1 7 voter. We only got one movie that got 7 votes, and that was Armageddon. Armageddon got 7 votes on this list, which I'm not surprised, but I am surprised because when I talked about Armageddon in a video recently, or I put out a video with Ben Affleck and how he was talking about Armageddon in the Criterion Closet video he did, there were so many comments that was like, Armageddon's trash. I don't need that on 4K. There was a lot of people hating on Armageddon. So it's nice to see that there's a good amount of people that do love Armageddon and do prioritize Armageddon to want to see that get a 4K release. So there has been rumors, an indication that that one's going to be coming from Disney on 4K at some point, probably a 4K steelbook that costs $60. That's what we're going to get. I do still think that it would be really cool if Criterion got it. They did a nice like digibook package with it. Some new special features, maybe one with Ben Affleck. He was just in the Criterion closet. I think that would be awesome. I mean, like from a physical media history perspective, since that movie came out on DVD from the Criterion Collection, and I think that's where the commentary with Affleck and how he kind of roasts Michael Bay came from. I think that's where it came from. But that would be awesome. I just think that would be awesome if that happened. And on 4K during the Criterion sale, it would at least be 25 bucks instead of $60 and a steelbook from Disney. God, Disney sucks. So freaking bad. I hate those steelbooks. But yeah, we got 3 movies to go. 2 movies got 8 votes, guys. And I was shocked by one of the films that got 8 votes. Excalibur got 8 votes, which I just talked about on the physical media report, coming to 4K. It's a rumor that's out there that is going to be coming to 4K at some point, but people still are clamoring for it. They want Excalibur. They want to reinforce, hey, we know this is potentially coming, but we really want it. You better make it happen, and you better make it happen sooner rather than later. But yeah, Excalibur got 8 votes. Fight Club also got 8 votes as well. A lot of people want David Fincher's Fight Club in 4K. I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. I just watched Fight Club on Blu-ray with my son because he's been showing interest in certain movies. So we watched Fight Club together the other night. And I was kind of surprised just how great that Blu-ray looked. Does anybody else agree with me there? The Fight Club Blu-ray looked incredible. It really did. I'm sure it could look better on 4K, but the Fight Club Blu-ray really looked good. Like it really looked good. So, if it came out from Disney, a $60 steelbook, no special features because Fox does own it, I would probably struggle with whether or not I would get it or not. I really would. Like if they had options, a nice slipcover, something like that, I would probably get it. But $60 steelbook, I don't know if I'd get Fight Club because that Blu-ray looked so good. Like I just thought it was unbelievable. And then lastly, guys, coming in at number 1 with the most votes, 9 votes. Can anybody guess it? I'm going to give you a second to guess. Can you guess it? Big Trouble in Little China was actually number 1, the most requested, most voted movie that people wanted to come to 4K. Big Trouble in Little China, 9 votes, guys. And look, I think Big Trouble in Little China would look incredible in 4K. Like that movie visually is so freaking fantastic and just has such a unique like visual aesthetic to it. Lots of colors. I think it would look great in 4K, and I would definitely want to see it. It is a Disney title. Scream Factory put it out at one point, John Carpenter film, so of course they did. But that is now out of print, I believe. Now, you had multiple opportunities to get it because it was on sale quite often for a little bit. Then it went out of print. So we're now just waiting. Is Disney going to do it? Are they not? Look, Disney, if you're watching this, they're not watching this. The people, the mid-level media community, physical media community, they want Big Trouble in Little China on 4K, and they want it now. They demand it. $65 steelbook with no new special features, not even the Shout Factory special features probably. No, that's not what the people want. They want options. They want all the features. They want new features. They want steelbooks. They want slipcovers. They want hard box releases. When are you going to get to the hard box business, Disney? That's where it's at. Okay. All right, I'm done. Yeah, a lot of these that we discussed were Disney titles, some Warner Brothers stuff as well, some Paramount here and there as well, but a good mix of stuff, guys. And it was nice to kind of, get the perspective of the people in the community. What do you guys want on 4K versus what I always want, all the time? Again, this is my channel, so that's what you get. You get my perspective, but sometimes I want your perspective, and we got it here today. So thank y'all so much for watching. Like this video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. Did you like this type of video as well? Let me know that in the comment section below, because I may do this for something else, like your favorite boutique label. That would kind of be interesting because that's a little bit more narrow, and I feel like I get a larger pool for like certain boutiques and stuff, or studios or whatever, favorite 4K title of all time. Like we may do other lists, more community like stuff like this. Just let me know if you like it in the comments section below. But follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description. Turn on bell notifications for all future videos, and we'll see you next time.